You're watching Delta CBS WXVT Cleveland.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Christopher Mathis. It's looking more likely that we're going to have some freezing rain in parts of the Delta late tonight and tomorrow morning. And in these dark pink areas, those are ice storm warnings, including DeShay and Bolivar and Coahoma counties within our coverage area. That's where we could see ice accumulations thicker than 1/4 of an inch, perhaps. Areas highlighted in purple, lighter accumulations of freezing rain expected. That includes Greenville and all of Washington and Chico and Sunflower counties and up toward Marks and Batesville. We're talking mostly about after midnight tonight with a lot of this getting started. We'll have the full forecast in 10 minutes or less, and the Delta News starts now.
News that works for you. This is the Delta News at 6.
Coming up, a nationwide pharmacy stepping in on the fight against COVID, now set to offer vaccines in your neighborhood. Details on the way. Plus, with a change in weather expected, state officials out prepping highways in case of ice. This and more starts right now. Thanks for joining us for your Delta News at 6. I'm Lakia Scott. Topping your headlines, a search underway for a stolen vehicle out of the city of Greenwood, leaving a restaurant employee carless. It was all captured on surveillance cameras. The Delta News' Timmy Lane has the latest.
Like shocked, like thought somebody maybe was playing around or whatever.
Leaving your vehicle unattended with the keys inside could simply result in someone getting inside of your vehicle and driving away.
A night of an off-the-clock employee arriving to a Greenwood restaurant to pick up his son after his work shift took a wrong turn. Billy Buchanan went inside of the Webster Wine, Food, and Diner restaurant to get his son. Seconds before everything unfolded, you can see the suspect slowly passing by their intended target. Minutes after he went inside, 3 males pulled alongside of his vehicle, which a male seen wearing a black mask got out of the passenger seat, ducked down beside the vehicle, and dazed his way into the driver's seat of Billy's vehicle.
You in when he never turned your head. He just jumped in. Got in, bagged up, but the car was still right here.
And minutes later, he drove away. According to Billy, this is a lesson learned for him, and his experience is now sending a message to the public.
Do not leave your cars running. Make sure your doors locked. Make sure ain't no personal information or nothing like that in your car. With like a split second, anything could happen to your vehicle.
Thankfully, this senseless crime was captured on surveillance cameras of the business.
But it was 3 guys in a like a dark color black Impala or maroon with a faded passenger side door on it. For the person whoever did it, you know, I just pray for y'all or whatever. You know, I don't mean no harm. Me and my son are good hard working, man. We just only trying to live and take care of our family, you know. I just pray and hope that whoever did it could return the car back.
Days later, still no signs of this vehicle. However, if you have any information leading to the whereabouts of this vehicle, you're asked to contact the Greenwood Police Department immediately. Timmy Lane, Delta News.
All right, and Greenwood police are now looking for that stolen vehicle, a 2015 white Chrysler Sport with tinted windows, Mississippi license plate number LRB6831. If you have any information that can help police, you're asked to call them at 662-453-3311. Mississippi Department of Transportation crews are out prepping highways for possible winter weather. Crews are out today pre-treating highways, spreading salt and slag as a cold front moves through the state. Rainfall tonight and Thursday is expected across portions of North Mississippi, including the Delta. Overpasses and elevated surfaces could freeze. Motorists are advised to slow down, allow more space between vehicles, brake early to avoid skidding, avoid distractions, and stay alert. To find out more, visit gomdot.com/winter. Well, several Walmart pharmacies in Mississippi will begin administering COVID-19 vaccines with the help of the federal government as soon as Friday. 31 store pharmacies have been announced through the Department of Health, and roughly 200 to 300 people can be treated at each store. Among the Walmart or Sam's Club stores, Yazoo City, Brookhaven, Macomb, Hattiesburg, Laurel, Greenwood, and apparently Greenville. We say apparently because we contacted the Walmart Greenville pharmacy, and their automated message says the Greenville store is doing what it can to roll out the vaccine, but has not been selected to administer it. So the best thing to do is to call the Greenville Walmart at 662-332-9026. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Bolivar County Chamber of Commerce is adding a new member. A Cleveland ice cream parlor is set to bring diversity to the city. The chamber holding a ribbon cutting to celebrate. The Delta News' Andronita Williams reports.
Okay, ladies, it's time to cut the ribbon. 1, 2, and 3. Yay! Congratulations.
Lamicha O'Connor is the newest member to the Cleveland Bolivar County Chamber of Commerce. The Mexican ice cream shop has homemade ice cream, flavored water, popsicles, and fruit offered at affordable prices for family outings. The owners say the shop isn't limited to just serving ice cream.
We have nachos, we have street corn, we have chicharrones, we have authentic Mexican milkshakes. We also have milkshakes.
The shop is located near the Delta State campus and is open Monday through Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. The owners have been living in Cleveland for about 10 years, and then they got the bright idea to open a business.
They had already knew each other for a long time, and one day they were just sitting down and talking about their dreams, and the idea came up, and then they just started to talk about it, and then that's when it all began.
Lamicha O'Connor has been open for less than a year. Now they have a variety of goodies for the family to choose from, and right now I have a cotton candy popsicle that's delicioso. They're located on 1104 West Sunflower Road if you want to come and check them out. But for now in Cleveland, Andronita Williams, the Delta News.
Can't wait to try it out. Thanks, Andronita. Well, members from the chamber say they're elated to add more diverse businesses to the city of Cleveland. Well, the legendary life and achievement of Jim Henson will be celebrated virtually by the Greenville Arts Council. Henson, the creator of the Muppets. The virtual presentation by Mary Butler will be held on Friday, February 12th at 5:30 p.m. on the Greenville Arts Council's website. Butler will offer a tour of the Henson Museum, and Dr. Deborah Dace, superintendent of the Greenville Public Schools, will also be featured. Dace will discuss the importance of early childhood education. The video will be accessible at www.greenvilleartscouncil.com. Guys, head over to deltanews.tv to grab your local news, weather, and your sports updates. We've got so much more to come here for you on your Delta News at 6. But first, let's check in with Chris.
Lakia, we're going to be unusually cold for the next week or longer, starting tomorrow, with chances for precipitation in that cold air. Full weather details when the Delta News continues.
Count on the Delta News weather team to keep you informed. Weeknights on Delta CBS.
There hasn't been a lot of rain so far today, but just in the last hour or two, some showers have been developing in various locations in and around the Delta. Most of this seems to be fairly light. There was a thunder shower in the Vicksburg area earlier, and we could see some of those here in the Delta tonight. Some thunder and lightning, along with what will become widespread rain over the next few hours. And as we get later into the night, that rain is going to turn into freezing rain, freezing on contact when it hits the ground and the trees and the cars and the rooftops, especially in this dark pink zone. That's where the ice storm warning is in effect. That's all of DeShay, Bolivar, and Coahoma counties within our 3-state coverage area. The dark red area is where we could see accumulations of ice 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick before noon tomorrow. Lighter ice accumulations expected around Lake Village and Greenville through Sunflower County and up toward Batesville. The purple zone is a winter weather advisory, not as serious as an ice storm warning. Still could be some slick driving though. 53 degrees in Greenwood, not included in any of the winter weather advisories. Too warm. 9-mile-per-hour wind blowing. 44 in Greenville with a 15-mile-per-hour wind. The wind chill is 37, but as long as the actual temperature stays above 32, we're not going to have any icing problems, and I don't think we'll drop below freezing in Greenville until well past midnight tonight. Already, though, below freezing in Tunica with 30 degrees. Meanwhile, Jackson has 67. Pine Bluff at 32, and not much above freezing in Little Rock. These ice storm warnings run from near Little Rock into the Memphis area and up into parts of Kentucky. It's the dark red zone where some really serious ice accumulations are expected. It's just not cold enough between the clouds and the ground for a lot of snow to fall. So this looks mostly like a rain and freezing rain event here in the Delta, possibly some sleet pellets at times. This is our future tracker showing the wet weather tonight. Pink indicates the switch to some freezing rain after midnight especially and through tomorrow morning. There could still be showers late tomorrow. There could even still be some Friday and Saturday. We're going to have at least a small chance for some precipitation every day for a while, with temperatures close to or below freezing. That pool of bitterly cold air still in place. Some areas up near the Canadian border still below zero. St. Louis is in the teens again, and it's going to be unusually cold here in the Delta for quite a while. Here's our forecast for tonight. Widespread rain, some scattered thunder showers, and then some freezing rain, especially after midnight. 36 is the average low for Greenville and Greenwood, certainly dropping below freezing in a lot of places. Temperatures should hold pretty steady during the day tomorrow with periods of rain and freezing rain in the colder locations. About a 40% chance for some showers Friday, and we could be below freezing when some of that is happening. 20% for Saturday and Sunday of some type of precipitation, but look at President's Day Monday. There could be a winter storm to start next week with temperatures in the 20s, maybe some snow, maybe some sleet, maybe some freezing rain. Could be a combination of all of that. This forecast is going to change from day to day. And now here's Lakia at the news desk.
All right, going to feel a lot different on tomorrow. Thanks, Chris, for the update. Well, it's Black History Month. The Delta News is featuring 4 Mississippi natives whose contributions helped advance rights and opportunities for minorities or made life more enjoyable for everyone. And tonight, that focus is on Fannie Lou Hamer.
Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee. It was the 31st of August in 1962.
An activist for voting rights, women's rights, a community organizer, and leader.
In Indianola to try to register to become first-class citizens.
Fannie Lou Hamer was born in 1917, Montgomery County, Mississippi. She was a child when her family moved to Sunflower County.
People is not just walking up like they used to do in the past, walking out, shooting a man down or getting maybe.
By 1962, Hamer was involved in civil rights, becoming an organizer with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. That year, she led 17 volunteers to register to vote at the Sunflower County Courthouse. They were denied that right due to a literacy test. On the way home, their bus was stopped by police for being too yellow.
We was held up by the city police and the state highway patrolman and carried back to Indianola, where the bus driver was charged that day with driving a bus the wrong color.
Over the years, Hamer's reputation grew. And in 1964, she co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, which challenged the local Democratic Party's efforts to block participation by black people. Like many in her time, Hamer was harassed and was severely beaten while in jail. She and other members of a group traveling from South Carolina back to Mississippi have been arrested for using whites-only restrooms or sitting at a white lunch counter.
All of the burning and bombing that was done to us and the houses, nobody never said too much about that, and nothing was done. But let something be burned, by a black man, and then, my God,
A lot of Hamer's activism was based in the North Sunflower County town of Rouville. There, one can find many tributes to her life and activism, including the Fannie Lou Hamer Memorial Garden. And now, Representative Benny Thompson of Mississippi's 2nd Congressional District wants a new federal courthouse to be named in her honor. The Greenville City Council and Washington County Board of Supervisors have both passed resolutions supporting that effort.
We was met in Indianola by policemen.
I'm Woodrow Wilkins.
And join us next week for another installment of the Delta News Celebrates Black History Month. Coming up, Facebook set to make some changes, reducing the amount of political content users see in their feed. That's next. Keep it tuned here to the Delta News at 6.
Well, let me tell you what's going on. This is an idea that you're going to say, why didn't I think of that? This is the touchscreen purse, and right now we're all trying to be as clean as possible, simplify our lives as much as possible, be as organized as much as possible, really be aware of our surroundings. You know how that goes? This is such a fabulous idea because when I leave the house, I have to have my phone. Now, oh my gosh, I need my hands. Do I put my phone down? No. Now, I have it. This touchscreen purse has a great place to put my phone in the back, but here's the unbelievable part. This really works. Oh my gosh, I love it. It works with all different sizes of phones, and the phone can be in the case, and you have space for keys and readers and lip gloss and whatever you want to have in there, which I have all my stuff in there, so it's all good to go. I'm not the only one who thinks it's a great idea. Laura Grenier from Shark Tank, who is a sweetheart, by the way, thinks it's a great idea as well. We have different patterns and different colors, so you can definitely have them to match different outfits. But now when you leave the house, you're not going to have to go, oh no, I don't want to put my phone down on the table and walk away. Oh no, I have too many things in my hand, right? How easy and streamlined and efficient is your life? Voila! Crossbody, RFID protection, adjustable, all the technology you want, and it's going to work with any of the phones that you use. By the way, it's also 20% off on localsteals.com.
Find us on Facebook at The Delta News.
Well, former President Donald Trump will not be back on Twitter anytime soon. A Twitter executive says Trump's ban is permanent, even if he wins elected office again. Twitter kicked Trump off of its platform last month after the U.S. Capitol riots. They said the move was due to the risk of further incitement of violence. Twitter had already temporarily locked Trump's account at the time. They pointed to several tweets that they believe contributed to an elevated risk of violence. Facebook is reducing the amount of political content users see in their news feeds. The social media platform says it is making the change for a small percentage of people in Brazil, Indonesia, and Canada this week. It will be applied to a limited number of U.S. users in the coming weeks. Facebook says these are initial tests to find the best way to show political content in people's feeds. The company is using artificial intelligence to predict whether a post is related to politics. Well, as the number of Americans getting vaccinated against COVID-19 continues to rise, so do concerns over the highly contagious virus variants. It's led some to suggest the need for a yearly COVID shot, much like the flu vaccine. Mandy Gaither has more in tonight's Health Minute.
Across the U.S., the race against coronavirus variants continues. About 1 in 10 Americans have now received at least one dose of the vaccine.
I already had COVID, and so I'm a little bit nervous because of the reinfection rate. That's the big thing right now. I wasn't as nervous. I was going to wait it out and wait till later on when it's not so urgent, but I thought I better get in on it now because of the reinfection.
Only one state now, Alaska, is showing an upward trend in coronavirus cases, but new CDC data shows nearly 950 known cases of the highly contagious virus variants in the U.S. CEO of vaccine maker Johnson & Johnson now suggesting those mutations may mean an annual COVID shot will be needed for years to come. The company asked the FDA for an emergency use authorization of its vaccine last week, and a green light could further boost vaccination doses available across the U.S.
Supply will increase, and we have to make sure that American public sees the data and has reliable sources to go to so they increase their comfort in being able to take the vaccine.
A new Gallup poll of more than 4,000 Americans taken at the end of January shows 71% of those surveyed are now willing to get COVID-19 vaccines, but 2/3 were not satisfied with how vaccination is going in the U.S. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
In that Gallup poll, of those unwilling to get a vaccine, most said they were concerned about the rushed development of the vaccines. Others saying they want to wait and see that it's safe and effective. Stay tuned. Sports up next.
Send in your weather photos to Facebook at The Delta News.
And welcome back, everyone. I'm Stephen Robinson. Hope you're enjoying your evening. As we reported Tuesday night, Alcorn State has opted out of the SWAC spring football season over safety concerns with the coronavirus. Now, Braves Athletic Director Derek Horn issued a statement saying, in part, this is a difficult decision, but it's made with the best interest of the community in mind. Now, recently, we got a chance to talk by way of Zoom with Greenville's Jimmy Giles, the former NFL All-Pro tight end and Alcorn State Braves standout, who shared his thoughts on the Braves' decision to pull the plug on spring football.
Extremely difficult to try to get those guys ready to play 7 or 8 football games in a 3-month span and then come back and play a 12-minute. That's just 2-minute football games for a youngster to play and put the strain on your body. And with that virus out there, man, you have to be extremely careful. And I'm glad that they decided to opt out. Because money is good, everybody needs money, the school needs money, but not at the cost of your health. And I think somebody made a great decision.
Now, the Braves were set to open their 6-game spring schedule February 27th at Alabama A&M. They instead now will move ahead with a traditional spring practice before preparing for an 11-game fall schedule. Now to high school hoops, where Pillow is hosting the MAIS 4A North State Tournament this week. The event is taking place on the Durand Carpenter Court, where 16 teams are part of a 16-game, 4-day schedule with safety at the forefront. You see, in between each game, the gym is cleared for members of the Pillow staff to disinfect each seat, aisle, and beyond.
The disinfecting inside of not only in the gym area, but also in the lobby, in the bathrooms and locker rooms, requiring of coming in with mask on. We feel like that's helping with all of the protocols as far as COVID's concerned. And we have some student volunteers who will help out as well. It's a pretty quick process. Once we get started, we have a couple backpack sprayers. It's gone pretty good so far.
Now, seating capacity is also limited to only 125 fans for each team playing. Meanwhile, tonight in the SEC on the men's side of college hoops, both in-state schools at home, the Rebels looking to extend their winning streak to 3, hosting the 10th-ranked Missouri Tigers. You can catch that one on ESPNU, while the Bulldogs, led by the league's 3rd leading scorer in DJ Stewart of Riverside High, taking on the Tigers of LSU. You can catch that one on the SEC Network. They're scheduled to tip at 8 o'clock as well. We got high school basketball highlights to talk about coming up tonight on your...
Get caught up on all of your news, sports, and weather on the Delta News Morning.
Join us at 10.